a stunning 111-110 victory in Oklahoma City. Indiana never led in the game until Halliburton's shot went through the nets with 0.3 of a second left in the fourth quarter. OKC wasted a game-high 38 points by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. A couple of head-scratching numbers from last night. Indiana is 4-0 in game ones in this year's playoffs. Indiana committed 20 turnovers in the first half. The Pacers ended up with 25 for the game, but OKC scored only 11 points off those turnovers. OKC also failed to hold on to a 15-point lead at home with 9 minutes left. Game 2 is Sunday night in OKC. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
LA's newest soul food restaurant is getting spectacular reviews. Great place with amazing food. The Sunday champagne brunch is fabulous. I saw the place on IG. We tried it for lunch. We were blown away by the food and the service. The restaurant has an inviting atmosphere and a dynamic vibe. Over the years, Lionel has catered most major Black events in Los Angeles, including all of our KBLA Talk 1580 gatherings. But now he has his own spot, Lionel's Soul Food Cuisine, and you need to check it out at 8501 South Vermont Avenue in Los Angeles. Oxtails, baked or fried chicken, meatloaf, turkey chops, pork chops, catfish, short ribs, and all the fixins. Collard greens, mac and cheese, yams, red beans, black-eyed peas, and more. And of course, hot water cornbread, satisfying drinks, and delicious desserts. Lionel's is a great place for brunch, lunch, or dinner. If it's good enough for us, it's good enough for you, because we've got your black. So, head on over to Lionel's Soul Food Cuisine at 8501 South Vermont Avenue in Los Angeles and tell Lionel you heard about it on KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580 congratulates Pastor and Mrs. William Sachs Epps on their retirement from stewardship at the historic Second Baptist Church. Dr. Epps has faithfully served Second Baptist as its senior pastor for 37 years. What a legacy of love and leadership. Pastor and Mrs. Epps will be honored at a luncheon on Saturday, July 26, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Sheraton Universal Hotel in Universal City, and you're invited to attend. Noted scholar Dr. Michael Eric Dyson is the keynote speaker. For ticket information, please contact epsretirement@gmail.com or call 213-399-2103. That's epsretirement@gmail.com or call 213-399-2103. To Pastor Epps and First Lady Epps, congratulations from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah. I get better every take, goddamn, you ain't know. Yo, look, crazy how I'm still getting better, huh? No emotion, just denim tears on my sweater, huh? Feel like I might be the last real ever, huh? Been a whole year, niggas still playing catch up, still give zero effort, huh? Yeah. You still ain't get the lesson, huh? You on your ass, letting life pass, tricking off the blessing, huh? Everything you missed in your adolescence, you can buy the fake image, that don't mean they respect it, huh? Yeah. Big hopes, big dreams. Make 100 M's off of 16s. Full circle, we the fam, never switch teams. Boss be the man that the kids need. It ain't no accident, we planned out to touch everything that we got. Learned everything I am from everything that I'm not. The crown in my city, don't care when you niggas drop. You getting what you handed, inherited nigga spots. I told them it was time, they stared and nigga watch. Keep your distance round me, if you square, stay in your box. I'm good in every hood, I'm standing on any block. About to kick the door down, y'all swearing this was locked. Hey, and that's on me, yeah, we got it on lock. Yeah. Cold red, big green, yeah, we got it on lock. Big green over here. All fast, big leaves, the underdogs on top. Yeah. And that's on me. Hey, yo.
Little Miles Low music for your Friday feels, okay? Miles Low Music is where you can find him on IG and everywhere else. Go to Bandcamp, go somewhere, buy the new album. Imagine That. It's called Imagine That. I like the title. My mama was the one who said the ultimate famine is the starvation of the imagination. one of my favorite of her lines. The ultimate famine is the starvation of the imagination. Good morning, family. If you got something you heard that got on your nerves or inspired you, or you need to clarify, well, please call me now, 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. A friend who I don't know whether or not she wants to be identified DM me listening to the conversation and asked if there is some type of strategy, COINTELPRO type situation, or just ops in the soup who are intent on delaying. And it wouldn't even have to be ops, but this is what she said. It could be people that are looking for the political advantage, like I believe our governor is, of never having to actually do anything around reparations so that he doesn't have to answer for it on his presidential campaign. And he's not the only one. Some folks think that was the case with Governor Wes Moore of Maryland, who vetoed the reparations, the state reparations law there. He says it was because he didn't want another study. He wants action. But reparations advocates are saying they believe they have the votes to override that veto and that they want to move forward with it anyway. It's ironic. We don't know. We certainly know from the polling that there are folks that oppose the idea of reparations, and many of them are not black. Black people generally support it. But the question was whether there are people fueling the fire, fanning the flames of dissent and division. And if that's the case, well, it wouldn't be the first time, won't be the last. But beautifully, we continue to make progress. That is the amazing thing about organizers, and particularly the beautiful black genius that we possess, is that we continue to find a workaround, a way around, a way up, an elevation, an innovation, an imagination that allows us to never be shut down. COINTELPRO, ops, fire hoses, liars, laws that restrict us or attempt to restrict us, to keep us out, to impoverish us, and yet, like the late, great Maya Angelou said, still I rise. Still I rise, haters. Well, she didn't say haters, but... And that I is the collective I, the I of us. We continue to rise. We continue to progress. No matter how frustrating it may seem and how many setbacks, if you look back 10, 20, 50 years, despite the Bushes, the Reagans, the Trumps, and some Dems, the Clintons, who made some terribly damaging policies for us, we continue on balance. If you look at the big picture, we are still progressing. That's powerful. All right, we're going to Dwight from the city of Compton. Happy Friday, Dwight.
Happy Friday, Dominique, and happy Hotep. Good morning to all the KBLA family out there, the hardworking postal workers, and those in the chat room. I want to wish you a happy belated birthday. I called Miles on your birthday to say happy birthday to you, but I want to also thank you for all the great things you and KBLA are doing, the events that are coming up for the Juneteenth celebration, and happy birthday to the station early. And Dominique, I just want to say that you mentioned Joe Manchin and Christian Sinema blocking, those two Democrats blocked the bill for voting rights, the John Lewis bill, and also the police brutality bill for the George Floyd bill not going through. So we had those two people, two corrupt Democrats, to block those two things, which would have helped us maybe in the elections, and maybe we could have blocked Donald Trump from being elected. But I'm so glad that Donald Trump and Elon Musk are at each other's throat right now because both of them are corrupt. And I hope they continue to expose the corruption on both sides, like Elon Musk put out a tweet about the young Epstein that died in prison, on 24-hour surveillance watch, and the guards just happened to go to lunch or something, he hung himself. And also, Trump put out how he may cancel a lot of Elon Musk's contracts, which would save billions of dollars. And also, Dominique,
is he going to send the white South Africans back now? Is he going to deport them? Their protected status has been revoked.
Let ICE arrest them as soon as they land on the airport. Let ICE be waiting on them and send them right back.
Well, because Steve Bannon is talking about trying to deport Musk. I don't see that ever happening. Yeah. But Steve Bannon is demanding an investigation into Musk's drug use and his immigration status.
A drug addict hacking our computer system, the Social Security, IRS, and destroying all the organizations that feed poor, hungry people around the world and give them medicine to keep them alive. And he's on drugs and stuff. They say he used to walk around with a bag full of drugs going. You see how he acts when he's there at the White House, letting his little boy tell Trump, which I was happy about, to shut up, my dad's talking, and had a black eye. Who put that black eye on him? Probably the Secret Service or somebody. Who knows what happened.
Or one of his baby mamas,
Yeah, exactly. So, Dominique, thank you for all the things your great, great radio station does, and thank you for keeping us informed on what's going on around the world. We love you. Many, many, many more birthdays coming to KBLA, and we love you, and keep up the great work that you, Miles, Tavis, and everyone there at KBLA are doing. And there's a Bible verse where one army turned on itself and started killing itself. Maybe that Bible verse is coming true in front of us, Dominique. Who knows?
Who knows?
Enjoy your weekend, Dominique. Thank you again for all the great things you do, and everyone there at KBLA, and much, much more success and many, many, many more birthdays. Thank you, Dominique. All
right. Thank you, Dwight. Have a great weekend. Yeah, I think most of us felt like the Trump-Musk bromance would be I won't say short-lived, but wouldn't last forever, because you don't get to upstage Trump, which Musk was doing all the time. But the thing about it is he came with $250 million, into the campaign. So you get a lot more latitude when you chip in $250 million. And I was hopeful from the beginning of this administration that their infighting, lack of character, jealousy, and incompetence would stop some of the more scary parts of their agenda, right? Things like closing down the Department of Education, things like shutting down Job Corps, getting rid of Medicare, and limiting Social Security. And now we're starting to see the kind of infighting and drama that I was expecting and thinking would be part of this administration. But they have so many competent, efficient white supremacists and neoconservatives there that I think stuff is sadly continuing to happen, even as do you call it a cat fight? Is it a cat fight? Is it a dog fight? What do you call it when two billionaires battle and start calling each other names and things in the public space? My favorite tweet was such a lack of gratitude. If it wasn't for me, Trump would have lost the election. Democrats would control the House, and the Senate would be 49-51. How do you know that, Mr. Musk? How are you so sure? Let's go to Queen calling us from L.A. Good morning, Queen.
Gratitude to you, Mrs. Dominique DiPrima. Thank you for allowing me to speak on your platform. I also like to say gratitude to the people that gave me some feedback. I indeed was listening when you spoke about my son yesterday. I also just wanted to mention, because I know you mentioned something about celebrities. I've never been one to be inspired by celebrity, but by the spirit of the Almighty within those people. So
I got you. I
wanted to speak on that because I did meet with Mr. Rizza Islam and his queen around this time, and we lost contact. So that's why I mentioned him.
I got you.
And I love men that like to stand out and not afraid to stand on what they believe in. So that's why I mentioned them.
I got
another
you.
Thing is, if you actually have anyone that, I really didn't get too much solid information about the me seeking out assistance. So if you get someone on here and they speaking out, I did leave my information with Miles.
Okay.
So, okay. Thank you
Yes.
so very much. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you for listening. I hope, you will connect with Second Call. I hope you will connect with Justice, Care, and Opportunities Department, their hotline. Might be able to offer some help to your son. And I also want to say, Queen, that I understand the distinction that you're making between a celebrity and the Spirit of God that you feel coming through them, that light, that love, that knowledge. You left your info with Miles. We can pass it on to Mr. Islam. I'm in touch with him as well. And prayers and love and hugs and encouragement going out to you, Queen, always from me.
Lessons. You know what? I also wanted to tell you that you and I have worked out with Coach E plenty of times.
So I know you.
Yes, you do.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to reconnect, and I hope that this conversation leads to more and more support for you and your child.
Okay, thank you.
All right, we're taking your calls. Caller amnesty is on. Means if you called earlier this week, you can get in again like Queen just did. If you've never called before, I promised I'll be gentle. 800-920-1580. Unless you talk to me like you know who. 800-920-1580. I'm Dominique DiPrima for KBLA Talk 1580.
Say the quiet part out loud. KBLA Talk 1580.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they help me. They calm me down. They make me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-919-9077. 800-919-9077. 800-919-9077.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The State of the People Power Tour is not a moment, it's a movement. 11 cities, one mission. To organize with care, build with strategy, and remind ourselves that we have never needed saving. This Friday and Saturday, the State of the People Power Tour arrives in LA for its final stop. The State of the People Power Tour is not just a series of stops. It's a signal, a shift, a belief that power lies in the hands of everyday people. A belief that if we show up for each other, our communities will be stronger. Join us this Friday, June 6th in Los Angeles at the Seed School and on Saturday, June 7th at Pasadena City College. We need you in the room to link arms with neighbors and leaders from across the country to build something that will last, because we believe if we move together, we will rise together. For more information and to register, go to stateoftheppl.com and join us as we build a new nation where every voice matters.
KBLA Talk 1580 congratulates Pastor and Mrs. William Sachs Epps on their retirement from stewardship at the historic Second Baptist Church. Dr. Epps has faithfully served Second Baptist as its senior pastor for 37 years. What a legacy of love and leadership. Pastor and Mrs. Epps will be honored at a luncheon on Saturday, July 26, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Sheraton Universal Hotel in Universal City, and you're invited to attend. Noted scholar Dr. Michael Eric Dyson is the keynote speaker. For ticket information, please contact epsretirement@gmail.com or call 213-399-2103. That's epsretirement@gmail.com or call 213-399-2103. To Pastor Epps and First Lady Epps, congratulations from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Queen called me at 800-920-1580, and I invite you to do the same. Whatever's on your mind, we're here for you. Want to talk about it with you. One of the reasons that I am enjoying the Trump-Musk feud is not just because I It's not because I wish ill on them per se. It's because I wish blessings on our country. And when those guys get mad, they say things and they, out each other in ways that can be helpful for our country. Let me put it that way. That's my my wish. I don't want our country to go down in flames. I really don't. I would like to see whatever ways that we can turn lemons into lemonade. I would like those to happen. Apparently, there's a truce coming into focus between Elon Musk and Donald Trump. Trump says it's not a big deal. He's not really focused on it. Blah, blah, blah. We shall see, because he doesn't tend to be all in one straight line. Let's go to Kwamel calling us from Gardena. Good morning, Kwamel.
Hello there. Yes, I'm just doing a real quick plug because y'all have been advertising the State of the People Power Tour, and you just got through talking with Miss Kristen from the California Black Power Network. And guess what? I'm going to be spitting poems there today and tomorrow.
Great. So you're doing poetry at both the L.A. and the Pasadena.
Oh, yes. Yeah, now we've been doing some powerful stuff lately. We just got to having Black Writers and Hours of Chaos back on Sunday with, talk about the whole thing with
Chuck D,
Hinton
yeah.
I think that's a different one, but
okay.
But yeah, this was gonna be butter though. So that's why I wanted to put that out there because this is powerful, and I look forward to being there with them great thinkers and all the great electeds and the people in the town. So I just wanted to let folks know I'm there this evening and tomorrow afternoon at the other location.
Yeah, well, congratulations to you. Hey, Kwamel, you want to give out your IG or your poetry website or whatever, since we're talking about your performance?
It's at Kwamel, Kuahmel, and I thank you for your time.
All right, have a great show. And then I know it's more than a show. It's meant to be an opportunity for organizing, a gathering of activists, movers and shakers. Our own Dr. Nicolai Corte will also be there. And Pastor Edward Anderson will be there as well. So they've got some local progressives in the mix. I'm not sure if Dr. Melina Abdullah will be there. Pastor Eddie seemed to think she would. Let's go to Tony from Santa Clarita. Good morning, sir.
Hey, Dominique, I think the problem with Musk is that the history of his family is starting to get revealed. His real last name is Halderman, and his grandfather was in Canada in the 1930s, and he was a Nazi, and he was plotting to overthrow the Canadian government, and then he recruited some guys to come to America to try to kill FDR, and then this all got exposed by the Secret Service and the Canadian government, and he spent World War II in prison in Canada, and then after he got out of prison, they expelled him from Canada and banned him from America. And so he couldn't go back to Germany, so he had to go to West South Africa, which I guess is the German part of South Africa. And when he went over there, he tried to get West South Africa to take over regular South Africa, which is the British part. And I guess that didn't work either. And then he went to Zambia, and then he got into the emerald mining business over there, and they used like slave labor, like you were talking about with the prisoners, with the firefighting and all that stuff. And then he got super rich over there with the emerald stuff. And then the reason why Elon Musk came to America is because he was a draft dodger. He was going to get drafted into South African military. They were having a war with some border country, I don't know where. But that's what this is about, because this I don't know if you watch the show Democracy Now.
Sometimes,
On March 27th this year, 2025, go find March 27, 2025. Amy Goodman was interviewing this guy who knows all about the Musk family history. And it's like, wow. I mean, Steve Bannon, he's right. I mean, Steve Bannon is trying to get Musk deported. I mean, if he's the grandson of a guy who's trying to kill FDR, like, really? They didn't
I had heard about the Nazi sympathizer roots, their political activity in Canada. I had heard about that. I never heard about the killing FDR part.
He actually went to prison in Canada for a long time because he was trying to do a coup. He's actually trying to recruit people to kill the government, take over the government, and he was recruiting people to come to America. All in a Democracy Now! Show.
And they also talk about how this Haldeman guy was kind of speaking out of both sides of his neck. He would make statements against anti-Semitism and then defend the protocols of the Elders of Zion. So that reminds me of Musk and of Elon in a way, the way he will say that he's a friend of Israel and that he's not not an anti-Semite, but then he'll post all this Nazi propaganda on X.
Yesterday, the German Prime Minister guy went to the White House and brought Donald Trump's grandfather's birth certificate. And if you research that guy's not that great either. He left America during World War I and tried to get into the German military. Like he was a German sympathizer guy in World War I, and then they didn't want him and they kicked him back out to America because they thought he was a spy.
I don't know about all that either, but I do know that Trump's father, Fred Trump, was arrested. That was documented in the New York Times, participating in a Klan rally.
And I think the main thing that caused this is the NASA, because Trump wants to turn NASA into like Space Force, and Elon Musk wants it to be more go to Mars and everything. I
mean, what's the difference? Space Force would go to Mars, wouldn't it?
Well, I mean, Trump wants to put missiles in space, and the NASA man that Elon Musk prefers is not into that.
I mean, we do have Space Force. That was something that he created in his first term, right? So,
yeah.
I know that Musk was talking about, basically defunding NASA or really taking it over. Really becoming sort of making NASA like a subsidiary of SpaceX. I don't know how much that's going to happen now that he's stepping away from the administration. And CNBC is reporting that Tesla lost $152 billion after Musk and Trump started fighting. That and Trump threatened to pull those government contracts. That they lost $152 billion. Their shares fell 14% after he tweeted, "Trump, without me, Trump would have lost the elections. Dems would control the House, and Republicans would be 51-49 in the Senate." And then he went on to say that Trump was in the Epstein files, and that's the real reason they haven't been released. And now, though, they're starting to ramp it down. So it looks like we won't get any more juicy revelations, although you never know. It's time for news, traffic, and sports. Tony, if you want to keep talking, you're invited. If not, hey, you're all invited. 800-920-1580. I'm Dominique DiPrima, and this right here is First Things First on KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. President Trump has signed a new travel ban targeting 19 countries, citing security risks.
The strength of the restrictions we're applying depends on the severity of the threat posed.
12 nations, including Iran, Haiti, and Somalia, face full bans, while 7 others, like Cuba and Venezuela, face partial restrictions. FEMA's acting chief, David Richardson, is under fire after saying he didn't know hurricane season had started. Critics say it raises serious concerns about disaster readiness, especially for Black and vulnerable communities. FEMA insists the comment was taken out of context. And Texas lawmakers have passed bills restricting DEI programs and curriculum in public schools and universities. SB 12 bans student clubs based on race, gender, or sexuality in K-12 schools, while SB 37 gives state-appointed boards power to reshape college courses. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Every day, a child in poverty waits for a sponsor is another day of hopelessness. There are thousands of kids who've been waiting over a year. and their weight. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Just text the word radio to 83393.
Is this the tackle? This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Game 1 of the NBA Finals goes to the Indiana Pacers, and it was Tyler Halliburton again who lifted Indiana to a dramatic win. For the 4th time in this postseason, Halliburton hit a game-tying or go-ahead shot in the final 5 seconds to give Indiana a stunning 111-110 victory in Oklahoma City. Indiana never led in the game until Halliburton's shot went through the nets with 0.3 of a second left in the 4th quarter. OKC wasted a game-high 38 points by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. A couple of head-scratching numbers from last night. Indiana is 4-0 in Game 1s in this year's playoffs. Indiana committed 20 turnovers in the first half. The Pacers ended up with 25 for the game, but OKC scored only 11 points off those turnovers. OKC also failed to hold on to a 15-point lead at home with 9 minutes left. Game 2 is Sunday night in OKC. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
The State of the People Power Tour is not a moment, it's a movement. 11 cities, one mission. To organize with care, build with strategy, and remind ourselves that we have never needed saving. This Friday and Saturday, the State of the People Power Tour arrives in LA for its final stop. The State of the People Power Tour is not just a series of stops. It's a signal, a shift, a belief that power lies in the hands of everyday people. A belief that if we show up for each other, our communities will be stronger. Join us this Friday, June 6th in Los Angeles at the Seed School and on Saturday, June 7th at Pasadena City College. We need you in the room to link arms with neighbors and leaders from across the country to build something that will last, because we believe if we move together, we will rise together. For more information and to register, go to stateoftheppl.com and join us as we build a new nation where every voice matters.
Hi, I'm LA City Councilman Curran Price, inviting you to join us on Saturday, June the 14th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. as we cut the ribbon on the brand new Enel Woods Park at 8703 South McKinley Avenue. Thanks to a generous donation from Heal the Bay, the park features smart irrigation, stormwater capture systems, and space for local wildlife to thrive. And we've built a walking trail, picnic areas, native landscaping, and quiet spaces for families to gather, relax, and connect. This is part of a much larger effort to expand green spaces across South LA with 3 new parks in the works, a first-of-its-kind community center coming soon, and plans to connect it all through the South LA Greenway. So mark your calendar for Saturday, June 14th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., and come celebrate a greener, stronger South LA at Enel Woods Park. I'm also pleased to sponsor the Climate Justice plus Black Health Symposium, moderated by Tavis Smiley, live on C-SPAN, Wednesday, June the 18th, from 4 to 7 p.m. at the Nate Holden Performing Arts Center. Just a reminder to sign up right away at the KBLA1580.com website to join me, Mayor Karen Bass, Congresswoman Sidney Kamlager Dove, Tennessee State Representative Justin Pearson, Dr. Cornel West, former Congressman Jesse Jackson Jr., the Sierra Club's Ben Jealous, and other black influencers in the climate and health fields as we continue to amplify the connection between climate and poor health outcomes for our people. Thank you for listening. I'm Councilman Curran Price.
We knew you'd stick around. This is LA's home for progressive talk radio. Be heard. Welcome back to KBLA Talk 1580.
So apparently what's happened is Trump's advisors are telling him, focus on getting the bill passed. Don't focus on fighting with Musk. And so they're trying to ramp it down. But we shall see how this goes. The big donor Bill Ackman jumping in saying that they should make up. And Elon Musk agreeing with it on Twitter, on X. Ackman wrote, I support real Donald Trump and at Elon Musk, and they should make peace for the benefit of our great country. And Musk responded, you're not wrong. So maybe they're bringing down their fire. We shall see. Meanwhile, a judge has put a temporary hold on Trump's ban of foreign students attending Harvard. That's a temporary block, and we shall see what happens next. That's keeping the judges really busy blocking all this BS. But many times, as I said, the damage has already been done by the time they block it. This one judge, Allison Burroughs in Boston, put a restraining order against the Harvard foreign students ban, and we shall see where this goes next. I feel like they do a thing, and then a judge blocks a thing, then they ignore the judge. It's becoming a pattern. Meanwhile, as Musk goes off to his business ventures, the Trump administration is trying to rehire a bunch of the federal employees that Musk fired as Doge was supposedly saving money. They found out that they FAFO'd and realized from air traffic controllers to health officials that they needed a lot of those workers, and they were, in fact, actually doing things. So they're trying to get people back in and trying to sort out those who took the buyouts and how they can navigate that. A federal judge back in April ordered the president to reinstate the probationary workers that they dismissed from those agencies. Not clear whether or not they have fully implemented that judge's order. So basically, chaos is what we're talking about. Let's go to Ron calling us from Richmond. Good morning, Ron.
Good morning, Dominique. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Doing pretty good, trying to hang in there. Wanted to wish you a happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
I know you're still celebrating.
Of course.
Getting ready for your birthday weekend. Also, got to say happy birthday to the late, great Prince on tomorrow. Would have been 67, I think.
I don't know. He's forever young, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And it is definitely Gemini season, people. It is definitely Gemini season. So, yes, happy birthday, Prince.
That's what's up. Shout out to all the Geminis out there. Yeah, so Elon and Trump going back and forth at it, huh?
Yeah, they're fighting. Yep, they're
That's
fighting.
Great.
Let's see, Kendrick Lamar, June 17th. When is your boy Ye's birthday? Another Gemini.
Oh, yeah. Oh, good question. I don't know.
June 8th.
Shout out to Ye. Oh, June 8th? Oh,
yeah,
that's Sunday.
Yeah, that's Sunday. So, it's due. Yeah, Tupac is the 16th, right? When is I think Ice Cube is the 15th, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Tupac is the 16th. Yeah, the 15th is Cube. Mm-hmm. Yep. People that hold mics. It's microphone mastery B-Day season.
That's what's up. I'll see. I just wanted to call in and show you some love real quick and wish you a happy birthday and all that. And also a happy anniversary to your radio station. Coming up on 4 years now.
Yeah, I know you're in Richmond, so I don't expect to see you at our 4th anniversary events, but you're certainly invited. They're all free. Free.
Oh, that's what's up. Yeah, I sure wish I could be in the LA area.
Yeah.
Are y'all gonna have some virtual stuff going on, or just?
You know what? I don't know. Do we have virtual? Well, I know we're streaming the my event on the 21st of June, which is the State of Black Women in LA. That's going to be on our Instagram and our YouTube. And of course, Tavis Smiley's event, the Climate Justice and Health Symposium that he's doing, that's going to be on C-SPAN, so you could watch it on TV. I'm pretty sure we're not streaming the barbecue, though. But, hey, we're not supposed to be eating that anyway, right, Ron?
Okay, that's what's up. Well, I'll definitely be tuned in. For sure.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking my call.
Absolutely.
Always appreciate you.
Appreciate the call. For those of you who are on the west side over here in LA, go to KBLA1580.com. Go to the website. Do it today before we run out of spots for you. I don't want to hear you complaining that you can't come to our Juneteenth barbecue and have some free BBQ, or come to my symposium, have a lunch and 2 panel discussions, and then brainstorm with me and other movers and shakers on solutions. We do need your help with these food gift cards, the grocery store or restaurant in any amount. If you come into the barbecue, please bring one. We're still helping those families that have been displaced by the wildfires. All of our events are free, 4 events, 1 for each year we've been on the air. And I would love to see you at any and all of those. Yeah, that's what's up. Let's go to JW calling us from LA. Hello, welcome.
Hey, good morning, Dominique, and happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
I didn't get a chance to talk to you yesterday. I had to hang up, but I was quite concerned when you had mentioned how Trump and they tried to do all that shenanigans with your brother, and I was worried when you have your event here. But I got the answer just a moment ago when you made the comment that it will be streaming. But I was hoping that it would be streaming just in case, they try to do some shenanigans with you over there and try to do something negative. And if it's streaming, at least we have evidence that whatever they may say is going on is not taking place. And so I'm just so grateful for that. Also, I'm so quite optimistic about the reparations, too. I really believe that things are going to move forward because I've been anticipating this moment. I'm so glad we're planning because if you recall, I used to always say we should have a think tank and we should get together, and et cetera.
Yeah.
So I'm so grateful for this moment. And when the other brother made a reference to the Bible in terms of Elon Musk and Trump, I really feel that was the hand of God moving when I first heard that on the news. So I'm in agreement with what that brother said, too, because I feel that's a sign. And I'm just pretty grateful. And I hope you have a good day.
I hope you do as well. And I thank you for your support and all of that. My brother's doing amazingly well. I think his sister's brothers and mama were the ones that were more freaked out, his kids, his wife, because we didn't like having him in ICE custody and we didn't like the attacks. I mean, when the Trump administration starts putting out press releases on your kin, it is rather worrisome. But my brother takes it in stride. That's why he's the mayor and I'm not. That's why he's working to be the governor and I'm not. In fact, the election is coming up. It's the 10th of June, and we shall see whether these attacks by the administration, the Trump administration, his arrest and detention, work to help him or harm him. I know that some folks saw how Ras Baraka, my brother, and I don't mean that in a sort of general way. We actually have the same father. Technically, my last name should be Baraka. It's just that my mom asked me to use her last name, DiPrima, and I honored that request. But anyway, I use Baraka many times. I say Dominique DiPrima of House Baraka, or I put the B in the middle, like on my YouTube page, Dominique B. DiPrima, the B's for Barakas. Point being that I think the Trump administration didn't anticipate the story of them detaining a black man who's an American citizen, who's the mayor of the city in which they detained and arrested him. Even though they're lying and saying he was storming that facility, what happened is on tape, and he clearly was not storming the facility. He clearly was there to meet the members of Congress who were inspecting that private prison, which was not in compliance with the city or the state regulations for such a private prison. They arrested him. He was the only person arrested, so it was obviously a targeted arrest of this black man. And what happened is the story blew up. It was on CNN, MSNBC, NBC, CBS. It was everywhere. Influencers were making videos about it. And as a result, I think that is why Attorney Haba decided to drop those charges, or, not proceed with the charges, because it was giving too much attention to Ras Baraka leading up to the election. And some people got to see how we wish more Democrats would act. Like they have guts, like they have principles, as if they're prioritizing the needs of their constituents, the people who elected them to do what they do. And as a result, the support for Ras Baraka as governor of New Jersey, which would be the first time New Jersey would ever have a black governor, is growing. That primary election is on the 10th. So if Ras Baraka, the mayor of Newark, is able to win in the primary, then he will go on to the general election and compete with a Republican to be the Democratic governor of New Jersey. It tends to be a blue state. It would be he'd have a good chance to win if he gets past the primary. The primary is tough, though, because it's a very, very crowded field. And so I think that's why the Trump administration said, we're dropping this. We're not going to give this guy any more free earned media. We're getting it out of the press. But then on Monday, after Ras Baraka, the mayor of Newark, who also happens to be my brother, my little brother, I will add, my big little brother, after he sued the prosecutor, and that reignited the story, the White House couldn't resist putting out a press release disparaging my brother, basically calling him a liar and saying he was grasping for relevance, lying themselves, saying he stormed the private prison, which he did not. And here we go. I mean, it's Friday before a Tuesday election, and we're still talking about this. So my prayer is that this will only fuel the campaign of this progressive black man who is very, very effective as a lawmaker, as a leader. And that's been proven and proven time and time again. And all you have to do is look at what he's accomplished in the city of Newark, New Jersey, one of the poorest urban communities in the country, over his 11 years at the helm of that city as its mayor. It's not too late to call me if you want to release some funk for your Friday or share a little fellowship or a few facts. Call me now, 800-920-1580. I'm Dominique DiPrima, and this is Unapologetically Outspoken, Unapologetically Progressive, KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 is committed to self-care and community well-being. Walk Good LA was formed in June 2020, inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement and the beginning stages of the COVID-19 pandemic. What began as a few minutes of breath work and yoga meditation before protests against police brutality turned into a safe space for the community to heal in hard times. The immensely positive response from the community transformed the momentum into a movement. Today, Walk Good LA is a black and brown-led community wellness organization based in Los Angeles. They provide spaces for healing through community yoga classes, guided meditations, hikes, run clubs, and other activations throughout Los Angeles that attract hundreds of members weekly. With the help of Propel and Michael B. Jordan, they now have a yoga and wellness studio in Los Angeles called the Walk Good Yard. To join their mailing list and connect with healing spaces, please visit walkgoodla.org. That's walkgoodla.org. Or find them on Instagram at WalkGoodLA. This is a community call to action, a community call to healing from KBLA Talk 1580.
Catch Prep is now enrolling for summer credit recovery in fall 2025. As South Los Angeles' top-performing high school in English, math, and college access, Catch Prep is welcoming all 9th through 12th graders to enroll now. Catch Prep offers a small, supportive, and safe learning environment to help all students succeed, so that all students feel valued, respected, and motivated to reach their full potential. For the past 20 years, Catch Prep has helped more students of color gain admission to top-tier universities, with our graduating seniors earning a total of $3 million in scholarships, more than any other school in Los Angeles. We are dedicated to helping all students turn your college dreams into reality. Catch Prep is now enrolling. Visit us online at catchhighschool.com or call 323-293-3917. Space is limited. Please enroll now for summer credit recovery and fall 2025. Call 323-293-3917 or enroll today at catchhighschool.com. The State of the People Power Tour is not a moment, it's a movement. 11 cities, one mission. To organize with care, build with strategy, and remind ourselves that we have never needed saving. This Friday and Saturday, the State of the People Power Tour arrives in LA for its final stop. The State of the People Power Tour is not just a series of stops. It's a signal, a shift, a belief that power lies in the hands of everyday people. A belief that if we show up for each other, our communities will be stronger. Join us this Friday, June 6th in Los Angeles at the Seed School and on Saturday, June 7th at Pasadena City College. We need you in the room to link arms with neighbors and leaders from across the country to build something that will last, because we believe if we move together, we will rise together. For more information and to register, go to stateoftheppl.com and join us as we build a new nation where every voice matters.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DiPrima on First Things First.
It's funny. It's Freedman Friday. This is what we do every Friday. We talk about reparations. And I was just pondering how any one of these stories that we've been covering in the past year and a half, over a year and a half, that we've been talking reparations every Friday, any one of these stories 5 years ago or 10 years ago for sure, 5 years ago more than likely, would have had us talking for a month, a week, a year. The fact that the mayor of Tulsa, a black man, has just put forth a program to raise $105 million from mostly private but also public dollars for a reparations package to fix Greenwood. And although it's not explicitly contained in this program, there could be actual payouts to those survivors, depending if the board of directors approves it. A black mayor, $105 million, a reparations package, we would have been talking about that all year. It would have been something never in our wildest dreams we would have imagined could be done. It reminds me of the conversations we had when Obama first came out as a nominee, as an aspirant for president. Oh, we're never going to have a black president in our lifetime. This story that I read to you this morning, reparations disbursements, now at $6.36 million for the tiny town of Evanston, Illinois. They've already paid that out to direct descendants of the black Evanston community. We would have been talking about that forever. $6 million has moved into the hands of black Americans because that, cannabis tax money, because we want to repair the impacts of Jim Crow, enslavement, and all of the subsequent badges and harms. And here in Maryland, where Governor Westmore vetoed the bill, and lawmakers say they think they have enough votes to override that veto. And the governor's reasoning for saying why he vetoed that legislation is because he said, we have enough studies. We don't need another study. We need action. Dick Gregory thought it would take 50 years. That was, 15 years ago, maybe 20. So according to him, according to Mr. Gregory's timeline, we are ahead of schedule. These are things we must not take for granted. There was a big meeting of African clergy talking about what decolonization of the church looks like and what their role should be in reparations. This was last week. And it's moving. It's moving in small towns. It's moving in Washington. It's moving in counties. LA County has a resolution on reparations. State of California, a task force. Yeah, it's not happening as fast or as perfectly, perhaps, as we would like. But it's happening. It's moving. And this is something I think we must not lose sight of. It was actually June 4th on my B-Day in Nairobi. There was a meeting of church leaders from Africa about reparations and decolonization and what the African church's perspectives on decolonization and reparations should be in global Christianity. Conversations we would never have imagined happening 5 years ago. 10 years ago. Well, maybe you would have imagined it, but you would have imagined it far into the future. And so I say that to remind us to be encouraged. We can critique, we can be angry about the setbacks and the imperfections and the trickery and the COINTELPRO-ishness and the respectability politics. We can be mad and critique that, but let us also rejoice and reclaim and revel in this moment of progress, in the middle of crazy, in the middle of the storm, the eye of the storm. So important, because part of the repair is mental, right? Our mentality, our spirit, our souls. Sure, it's the wealth gap, but it's not just the wealth gap. And so when we talk about, these world church leaders, for example, having a conversation, one of the things they talked about is problematic thinking in Christianity, and that Christianity has to be a European cultural product that's linked to the colonization of our people. What? That conversation is happening right now. And I think that is important. Washington State, a third state now, boom, doing their own reparations study. Signed into law by the governor. It's happening now. And I don't believe, I could be wrong, I don't believe there's anything that this administration can effectively do to stop it. And that in itself is reason for celebration. States' rights, you haters. States' rights. So, yeah. We are still moving in the positive. We are fearless and unstoppable. And I think we will only get stronger and stronger as other folks indulge in infighting and corruption. We will continue to be steadfast, ethical, and dedicated. The best of Tavis Smiley is up next. Highlights from the week that was, and that is something to look forward to every week. I want to remind you, too, that you can find all of our podcasts for free wherever you get your pods. They're also on YouTube at KBLA 1580, where you can actually see them. And I will be talking with you on social media all weekend at DiPrima Radio, DiPrima, and then radio. Like my mama, the great poet laureate of San Francisco, Diane DiPrima, used to say, history is now, and we are making it together. Until next time, one love.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.